Shubh, Panda. How are you, buddy?
Doing all right.
Good. Yeah, very happy to have you on here. You have maybe one of the best names ever. I'm sure I've told you that before. People are going to keep telling you that, especially after they hear this. You might have the best name to do anything. You could do anything.
Thank you.
Like if you were a locksmith and you just had like a locksmith business and you were like, this is Shubh's Locks, people would show up.
No, I get it. People ask me like, is it a stage name? No, it's a family name.
That's
Panda
your
is a
family
family name. Yeah.
Wow. So Panda.
Yes.
Does that mean something else in India?
Panda, the family name. So when my ancestors were all will be taking care of the scriptures. They were like priests in a temple.
Okay.
They were not allowed to do any other work. They will be taking care of the scriptures, the temple, and doing the ceremonies around the Hindu community.
Sure.
So that is how, when the British came to India, right, they divided us into all this caste system. Do you know how many castes in India?
No.
Can you guess something?
Wait, what do you mean? Castes?
Yeah, castes.
Like what does that mean? Like groups?
Dividing the society, like Portuguese have the castes, dividing the people in like hierarchy.
Oh, okay. So how many of those did the English impose?
How many do you think that India have?
Oh, I feel like it's a lot. I feel like it's
it
really
could be
a lot.
3, it could be 3,000.
Okay, 3. Let's start with that. 3. 3, right?
Lower upper.
So what the British did, they did it like 3,000.
So they did it even more.
So what they did is every work they divided into people, like barber, panda, a sculpture artist, a clay artist, a sweeping guy.
How did they
So
decide?
based on the work, they had no clue of how India worked.
Okay.
Based on the work, they divided the society. So with that, I become like Panda. When you say, okay, priest class or the priest people. So all my ancestors were priests.
Okay, so when they went in and everybody already had jobs, they were like, this is the class of, store owners. This is the class of barbers, like you said. And okay.
So their idea was to divide and conquer. How you can divide the people, just, put them against each other.
Yeah.
So it was unite, but they disrupted and we are not able to get out of it.
Yeah, right, for a long time. How long did it take?
We are still struggling with that. Throughout the world, people know, like when you see butt of jokes sometime, it's like you have caste system in India. So that's what happens. But people moved on, but still the world is not able to move on beyond the what British have established.
Right. Yeah. Now, how long was Britain occupying in India?
So
Because that a massive influence, of course.
yes.
Horrible.
Yes. So in 1492, the Mughals, 1192 or 1292, the Mughals, they came from Afghanistan and everywhere. And then there is Spanish colony, Portuguese colony. They were ruling around the world, these two colonies. And then East India Company, they grew in London, and then East India Company came to India around 14 something, and then that time it was the Mughals, the Spanish, the British, the Portuguese, and the French. All these people were in India fighting against each other.
For the resources?
For everything.
The spices, right? Everyone went there for
everyone went there for spices.
Yeah.
But
that to me is crazy. Because there was a point in time where people went to war for salt because there was you couldn't preserve food. There was no refrigerators or anything. So anybody who had a lot of salt, they invaded and they took all their salt because that's how you kept the food.
Right.
And spices at one point, for whatever reason, were so valuable in the world that everyone needed to find the way to India.
Yeah.
I think they still are.
Yeah, right? Of course. Yeah, everyone makes fun of white girls because they don't season anything. That's like, that's the main attraction to spices, I think.
But at that time, then the British fought with the Portuguese.
Yes.
The British left in 1947. India was declared independent on 1947. But the Portuguese, they were still occupying a part of India.
Yeah.
So
they're
after
horrible.
India got independence, India have to fight a war against Portuguese
Ugh.
inside India
Yeah.
to kick them out in 1962.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, the Portuguese were kicked out in 1962.
Believe me. I mean, I'm Portuguese.
Oh, sure.
I'm half Portuguese.
Okay.
Believe me, the Portuguese people are some of the worst colonizers in the history of the world. I was in a bar the other day, right down the street from here. It was a primarily black bar. And I was sitting there, and a woman that I was sitting next to, a black lady, her friend asked her what I was. Because somebody said something about Mexican. They thought I was Mexican. Everybody always thinks I'm Mexican or Dominican or something. And I'm like, no, I'm half Italian and Portuguese. And the lady looks at me and she goes, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" Like, she's like, "You know where you are? You better get the fuck out of here." Like, joking around. Because Portugal, I mean, what'd you say, 1962 they were in India?
1962, yeah.
Bro, in Angola and Mozambique and Cape Verde and Africa, they were there in the 70s. I think 1975 or something is when Angola finally got rid of the Portuguese people.
See, yeah.
They were fucking horrendous.
Yeah, as they got to learn about how to make these big boats,
Yeah.
they were like going around the world.
Exactly. They were some of the first ones that knew how to do that.
Yeah.
And navigate the waters. And yeah, it's crazy. They're fucking brutal. I was talking, do you know Ano Gomes?
Yeah, I know.
He's Cape Verdean.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So me and him, well, he's from Australia, but he's Cape Verdean. And I was talking to him, and he was telling me about how he has family members that were killed by the Portuguese, or at least fought. They understood the struggle
Yeah.
in the 70s. And I'm like, on the other side of it, I'm like, I had an uncle that fucking killed on the other side for the Portuguese. And it was just funny how, life works. So many generations later, me and someone who apparently my older generations disliked or had under their thumb or whatever, now we're speaking about it and being friendly about it. And with the same thing here, Yeah.
The other thing which you talked about, big boats, the Portuguese built. There were, there is civilization in Bali, which is in Indonesia,
Yeah.
which is totally Hindu. So people from India, they were traveling with these big boats way before. What I was saying is big boats India also had to move around. All these
Right.
Bali, Java, Sumatra, the Malaysian islands, Malaysia, and then what is this? There is
Lumpur.
Maldives.
Oh, the Maldives. Okay.
Maldives.
Yeah.
So it's all like some of them are Indian names even.
Yeah. Some of them, I mean, Bali sounds like an Indian word.
So Bali sounds
Bollywood, right? It's spelled different, but
Bali used to be a king in India.
okay.
So it was named after the king,
Gotcha.
Bali.
Yeah.
Even Indonesia, their currency, one of their currencies, I think, have Ganesh on their currency because they consider their forefathers are all Hindus.
Right. Okay. Yeah, derived. Yeah, I mean, that was like, right now I'm reading a book that dates way, 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 way before any of these civilizations. It's about like ancient civilizations and stuff. It's called Fingertips of the Gods by Graham Hancock. It's really good. And he talks about an ancient civilization that was able to traverse on the oceans, which is even crazier to think about because they're supposed to have not known how to do that, and he's got all this evidence of them calculating points and making maps, and he's like, they had to have been floating around in the ocean somewhere, you know. That's such a crazy fucking thing. Imagine thousands of years ago, me and you were sitting around. We don't know anything about the world because nobody has any information. And our buddy's like, I can build this thing that floats. You guys want to just go in the water and find some place? Like, that's so insane. A bunch of people just get on a boat and go somewhere.
Now, if you see, when the aeroplane, Wright brothers discovered the aeroplane.
Yeah.
When was that?
When was that, Billy? Let's find. Was that the early 1900s?
Yeah, it may have been the end of the 1800s. I'll pull up a number.
Yeah.
So if you see, from that time and now, right? It's not even like maybe 300-400 years that we are able to fly and go to moon.
They sustained flight on 1903, December 17th.
1903. And now
but they were working on it for a few years. So.
Oh yeah.
So even if you see when the electricity, the oldest technology that we know, maybe not beyond like 600 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So since that, in like 500-600 years, we are back to going to moon again.
Yeah.
So in a way that if the world destroys and comes back again, then in like 500 years we'll be back to flying to moon again. So
it's cyclical.
Yeah. So changing part, like world is getting created and getting destroyed. That is what that we believe in, like constant change.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what that book is about.
Yeah.
That I mentioned. It's about civilizations that were potentially wiped out from cataclysm, you know, an asteroid or a flood or the ice age. Because if you think about it, there's stories all over the world about floods.
Yes.
Right? Noah's Ark.
Yes.
And the what is it? The Epic of Gilgamesh. There's all these stories of the world ending and some savior coming and bringing everybody back up out of it. It's like a weird coincidence. It's something to think about.
So exactly similar, the Great Flood and Noah taking a species of each animal in his boat. We have something similar. So what we believed is it was a fish, big fish, that helped us getting out of that big flood. And that the guy's name was Manu. Okay. Manu, he, like Noah. Okay. Manu, he took each species of a animal and as well as a species of the plant.
Plants as well.
Wow.
Okay. He wanted to bring everything with him.
So everything with like creation of new, and there were like 7 saints that he took along with him.
Right.
So everybody that we lineage of those 7 saints. So when you talk about what is this? The sibling marriage, what do you say? The incest, right?
Yeah.
So for us in Hinduism, those are the 7 saints. Okay, we are all derived from those 7 saints. So if you are getting married to somebody, they don't know their forefathers like 10 lives back, but they know who was their primary saint who they derived from.
Right.
So even if you want to get married to somebody in India in a regular arranged marriage, that means they will make sure you and your partner, like the girl, is not derived from the same saint.
From the same saint.
So think about incest. Like there is no incest for like, think about like 10,000 years.
Yeah.
So if you are getting married with a love marriage,
right,
you fell in love. So you don't check like
who was any of it.
Yeah, who was, I mean, that doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Because you're in love. So
imagine you're like, you're from her.
Right. It could be. There could be incest like maybe 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, could be anything.
Yeah.
But if you go with the normal route, It's foolproof.
It's foolproof. Yeah. There's a lot of those stories of just the fucking the world ends and they get ready for the next one, and it is nuts because it's across so many different cultures. How could it be that that a culture in India and then a culture in modern day Mexico, like the Aztecs, and then a culture in the north, like with the Vikings, they all have the same story, similar stories. It is crazy. It's a crazy thing.
Another thing also I was trying to see is, have you seen the Airbender?
I've a little bit, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Airbender,
Yeah.
he have like
Ash.
control over 4 elements:
Yes.
the earth, water, fire,
Air.
air.
He's the last one that knows how to do air.
Exactly. So 4 elements he's in control. That includes our earth. But what we believe, the guy who controls 5 elements, he is the supreme for us.
What's the fifth one?
Space.
Space.
The space includes everything. Your multiverse, your galaxy,
That's
outer
right.
galaxy, and everything. So
People
he have
forget
control
space.
over 5 elements.
Thanos.
He's Thanos.
Is Thanos is
The Marvel character.
right.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
does he have control over those 5 elements or?
Pretty much everything, right?
They phrased it all differently. It was like power, mind, soul, space, time.
That makes sense.
That's a good thing. I will try to.
Well, he gets the stones, right? Those
Yeah,
each-
each stone was a different one of those things. I just
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about those movies. So
the
good
Marvel
looks.
movies.
Yeah, the Marvel
Yeah, they're pretty
movies.
sick.
No, for me,
They're pretty sick.
for me, the difficult thing happens is because I was born and I grew up in India. So all these things that I have seen it, control over 5 elements. The one of the gods incarnation have it look like a monkey, look like an elephant,
Right.
look like a bird. So why people can't understand these things here?
Sure.
And in a way that I'm trying to explain them, like, okay, how I can tell that there is somebody with control over 5 elements. So I got to see Airbender, right? 4 elements. Now you are talking about Thanos, right? So now I have to associate
Yeah,
that
Got another one.
when I talk about things like, okay, like sometime if I talk too much, people don't get it. So I have to give these references, like, okay, think about this, think about that. So
Right. Yeah, you definitely talk a lot about, which is good, obviously, because it's where you're from. You talk about Indian culture. We're talking about on stage, of course.
yeah.
One thing, you mentioned elephants. Have you ever seen they have him in India. He's like the biggest elephant. He's massive. See if we can find him. I forget what his name is. They named him something, but he's like the biggest. I think he's the biggest elephant they have in captivity. And they bring him out, and it's like a big set, not a ceremony, but it's like a big event. Like, this massive fucking elephant.
So if you see there is a festival.
Look at this elephant. That would be crazy. I mean, the elephant's huge. If we can find this picture or the video, it's like a house.
Elephants are like,
Should I search in the world or?
India, I guess, maybe the biggest elephant in the world. I don't know.
there's a part of India where elephants are there at every temple. Like think about, you have churches every nook and corner, right?
Right.
Similarly, we have temples,
Yes.
and every temple have an elephant.
Like a statue or an elephant?
Elephant.
He's like the mascot to the temple.
Temple mascot
Yeah.
is an elephant. That's right. That's how I have to
in
tell.
Tanzania, and he's estimated to be 11,000 kilograms. So that's pretty fucking big.
That is pretty big.
Yeah, maybe that's not in India. Yeah.
Tanzania. That's
Tanzania.
Africa, right?
Yeah. I'm sure they got a.
I'll search in India.
Yeah. I forget what they gave him a name. I think it begins with a T or something.
Eravat.
It could be. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eravat is.
That's you're gonna have to pronounce this one for us.
Oh yeah, you're gonna pull it up. That is a crazy name. That looks like a. Yeah, that is the video. That's the one.
Okay, this is the one you seen.
Yeah.
All right.
He's fucking big. Look at that guy. Let's see if we can get him up.
Whoa.
He's so
Yeah,
goddamn
he's gonna come. Yes. So that's how they decor the elephant at the temple. So this is a temple ceremony that is
I
happening.
don't know if you could read the name from where you're sitting, but this is. I'll pull it up bigger in a second. We can play the
Let's watch the video. That's his name.
Oh, that's his name.
Okay, wait.
That's a crazy. Even that name's hard.
Wait, can you bring it again?
I'll pause it on it. Yeah.
That's a crazy name.
Te-
Techi
You know it's crazy when he's
Techikotu
struggling.
Kavu. Techikotu Kavu Ramachandran.
Ramachandran.
Yeah, Techikotu Kavu Ramachandran.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, now it is easy. First name I was like, okay, let me pronounce it properly first.
Here, play it. Let's see him walk around. Or I don't know how far out he goes, but he's so goddamn big. Tallest and most popular elephant.
So the temple might have many born in
Kerala.
1960. Yeah, Kerala. It's the southernmost part of India.
Okay.
And every temple have elephants, and people donate elephants to the temple.
Jesus, look how fucking big he is, dude.
And
So
It's-
people who have elephants just donate them. There's people that just have elephants.
so it's like you buy a baby elephant and you donate it to the temple.
Okay,
Not
okay,
only
okay.
donating the elephant have to eat also.
Right.
So you have to put money also for that. So if you have to be that big shot, so that you can put that much money
Right.
to donate an elephant to a temple.
Does that say he killed 13?
Yeah, he killed 13 people.
Oh my god. That's insane. Does that happen often, Shubh?
Well, sometime it can happen.
They are wild animals, right?
you,
Look at the tusks.
you have to be nice to the elephant.
Oh yeah. That's crazy. Why is it such an important animal?
Because we learn so much things from the elephant. You know, in a way that elephants they're not running anywhere. If you have seen an elephant, they're just taking their time,
Right.
picking a leaf,
Hanging out.
enjoying, hanging out, walking walking in a way that we are always in a hurry, right? Like, okay, when is the next thing? What is the next? Where
Yeah.
I'm gonna do?
There's no
We're just running.
elephants running to open mics.
So in a way that they are enjoying their life,
Right.
wherever for now, leaving it for now. But also they have the good memory and everything,
Yeah.
source of knowledge. That is what makes elephants. Every animal have a teaching or contribution in a way that it was described or told or noted or the culture tells us.
Sure.
Every animal, bird, everybody have a part in it.
Yeah.
So that is why we are not able to like get out of harming an animal or shitting on a thing or like okay no that is important.
Yeah. It's like the Chinese zodiac. Every year, it's the year of whatever animal that is, and that group that was born in that. What year were you born?
92.
92. Can we find what the Chinese zodiac for 92? Do you know what that is?
I think it's my sister's 92,
Oh.
and we always say it's a rat, but I don't know if it's actually a rat. I'm gonna Google it though.
Yeah, 97 is the ox. I got the ox.
I'm the dog.
The ox is also important.
Yeah.
Yeah, ox is also important.
Yeah.
Every temple have a ox statue of a ox or a
Yeah.
bull, and the thing is the god is always meditating. He's closed his eyes and meditating. So that is how the airbender, the 5-element bender
Yes.
in India, getting all the knowledge and getting all the power from meditation.
Right.
So he's not able to listen to you every time. So there is a bull in front of sitting in front of God all the time.
Okay, so what month were you born? Because you're either a goat or a monkey.
February 10.
February 10th.
You're a monkey.
Yeah, you're a monkey.
You're a monkey. You're the monkey.
All right. That is why maybe I was thinking about Goku.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, so what were you just saying?
Oh yeah, so you tell things to the
Oh,
bull.
to the bull.
Bull is
Yes.
like a Santa,
Because the god is always meditating.
always meditating.
Always meditating.
But the God said, whoever grievances that you're gonna bring, I'll listen.
Ah.
So you have to go talk to the bull first.
You talk to the bull.
Yeah, tell whatever you want. You want a girlfriend, you want a fancy car, or
Yeah.
just get a better job. You just tell the bull.
Sure.
So you have to tell the bull in his ears.
So does India have the monopoly on gurus? I feel like all the gurus are because obviously you're talking about meditation, and they're very Hinduism is obviously very meditative, and it's also, correct me if I'm wrong, the birth of Buddhism is in India.
Yes,
So meditation is like a massive
yes,
part of the culture.
right.
And who's the guy? Sadhguru? He's like the popular one now.
Yeah, popular one.
Yeah, he's very popular. Are there like other ones that?
Yeah, there are many.
There's tons, right? They're
There are
all-
many.
yeah.
All it says is like you are learning something, right? You need a guru,
Yeah,
teacher.
yeah. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a saying in Sanskrit called Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guru Ve Nama. I'm a starter, so sometimes it happens. But that means like the teacher is everything,
Okay.
It
Teacher
could
is
be,
everything.
yeah, could be Supreme God or everything. The teacher is that's where you're learning from. So you can have a guru to learn anything like meditation or like what Sadhguru is saying, but if you need to find your way.
Yes.
Okay, as soon as you figure out, well, this is working for me, whatever is the guru, I learned what the guru have to say, now I will find my way. That is
Right.
how Buddha, his name was Siddharth,
Yes.
and he had a guru. Then he's like, well, now I find something which is important that I could find it.
Right.
Like you found your writing, like, oh, this is good, this is nobody teaches, this is working for me, so
Yes.
this is a new thing. So Gautam found a different thing, so he's like, he become Buddha, enlightenment and he become Gautam Buddha.
Right.
So the gurus are there, you need it for everything, or but as you learn, the time you think like my thinking are a little different, or I'm gonna get past through this guru and find my own way, that is what makes the culture and the thing different. That is how you can have, there is not a single pope or something.
Right.
Everybody could have a thing, and tomorrow you could be a guru also.
Sure. Yeah. Well, those are the best teachers, the ones that they teach you until you don't need them anymore. They know
Yeah,
that the best thing for my student, me
Yes.
doing my best job, is that my
Yes.
student doesn't need me anymore.
right,
I brought them as far as they can, and now they have to go
right.
find their own style, whatever it is.
Right. So Buddha found that way. There is a different, even Sikhism, the people Sikhs, their guru was also Hindu, and then he found a different thing,
Right.
and he started Sikhism. So in a way that you could also be a guru.
Yeah.
Could be a
yeah.
guru.
You just come up with a philosophy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If people
Like the
believe.
Osho. You ever see the Osho?
Yes.
You ever watch Wild Wild Country, the documentary about him?
A little bit.
It's crazy. It's
There
very
is a little thing that was not that so great in that documentary, right?
Well, it really was the lady that was his like right hand woman, because he was always doing tours and he was speaking all over the place, and what he had to say was good, like it was good stuff, and it was interesting because he also believed in materialism, like he liked having nice things, but he also had other beliefs outside of that, spiritually, and just be good and be decent and all the things that you want to hear. But the story of them is they all moved, all the followers of this group moved to America, and then they moved to a place in Oregon where they took over the town, and the woman was like an evil mastermind because she was the one who ran everything. She was bringing in homeless people so that they could vote because they wanted to change the name of the town. I forget the name. And she's like, we need votes. So she's bringing people in. She got people to poison food places in the area so that people wouldn't go out and vote on voting day against them. And they ended up winning. But it was crazy. She almost went to jail. I think she ended up beating the charges or whatever, or fled or something, and is hiding.
Also is very popular in India too. What he wanted to say is, whatever you want, do it to the most, so that you don't feel craving for it anymore.
Right.
So with that, many people got attracted to it. So
yeah,
and his
sounds good.
And his teachings and sayings, you will see it in the reel and the YouTube all the
Yes.
time. They're very valid.
You do see them a lot. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree. It's just like anything else. If you get, it's a good idea, and then if you get somebody with the wrong mindset or
Yeah.
they want to take it in a different way, and you give them enough power, shit
Right,
gets
right.
wild, you know?
So there's like two different gurus. My mom doesn't like one of the gurus that comes to our city.
Okay.
You know? So this guru was shitting on another guru.
Yeah.
So my mom is like,
So there's
why?
There's beef, guru beef.
Yeah, I was like, why? She is a good girl too. She is a guru too, and
Yeah.
why he have to shit on her? You know, he's telling his part and she's saying her part. So that could also happen. And my mom stopped going to listen to that guru anymore. Like I don't like.
Yeah, she had enough. Right. It's like hearing something on the radio. You're like, yeah, cut it off.
Yeah.
So where'd you first live when you moved here? Chicago?
No, I lived in Dallas.
When you first moved to...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you moved here with your parents?
No, I came by myself.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I came by
So
myself.
what brought you to Dallas? What made you go to Dallas?
I came here for a work.
Oh.
Yeah, I came here for work.
And had you... was this during college, after college, no college?
After college.
After, okay.
Yes.
So you moved here for work.
Yes.
And is Dallas... What did you think about it? I've never even been
No.
to Texas once.
Oh, Texas is great because
Yeah.
the weather.
Okay.
The weather is good. I lived in San Antonio for some time after coming to US.
Yeah.
And then because it's a similar thing with India.
Weather-wise?
Weather-wise, yes.
Okay.
When I came here, I bought all my warm clothes, like the winter clothes and everything. You know, because I've seen the movies like Rocky and stuff. So I need to bring some warm clothes. But I never got to use them.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, with it, I did not feel a lot because after coming here, my thing was to, find good food. It's not easy to find like what you used to eat.
Yeah,
Every
especially from a
place-
complete other country.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
place have just meat all the time.
Texas,
Everything.
right? Barbecue.
Texas, the same thing. But what helped me with is the Mexican joints, the Tex-Mex and the
yeah.
Mexican joints.
Yeah.
We eat a lot of rice and beans back home.
Yeah.
And that helped me a lot.
Yeah. Because obviously you don't eat beef.
I don't.
You don't eat beef.
I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork.
But you could if you wanted.
Yeah, never had it, so I don't feel like eating. But yeah, I can eat.
Pork is fucking
The-
good, man.
Yeah, the thing is like somebody asked me like, what if you eat pork? What is the punishment? There is no punishment.
Yeah.
There's no punishment because everything is valid.
Sure.
You eat cow. There is a section of Hinduism that eats the cow.
Really?
There is a section that eats the pork. There is a section that eats doesn't pray the gods. They have a different god. So everything is valid. So that is why there is so many routes
Sure.
to find your ways. So that is why people were not able to like, oh, okay, I don't have to find something else. It is there and part of it.
So in your sect of Hinduism, can you eat pork if you wanted to?
Yeah, I can eat.
It's not like
There is no
cow.
punishment that written there. Even I can eat the cow. There is no punishment written to that.
Oh, really?
How do you feel for it? If you eat a dog, what do you feel for it? Can you eat it?
Different. Yeah.
So can you eat the dog? You can eat the dog. Nobody's stopping you. But
Right.
can you eat the dog? So that is the whole thing. Even if you eat the cow, but you are still a Hindu.
Right.
Back home, like even if you eat it, nobody's kicking you out,
Interesting.
shitting on you or something like that.
'Cause
But can you?
right. Well, you guys have a different. It's interesting that you said dog because we have a different relationship here with dogs, where someone's like, "Oh, eat a dog, you're crazy." But we had Sesh here last week, and she was talking about how in the Philippines they offered her dog stew because they have a different relationship with the fucking animal, where they eat it. And over here we eat cows. You decided to move to Texas, where they're known literally for raising cows and ranching and eating cows. And it must have been crazy, where you're like, everybody, this is all they eat over here.
Right.
Yeah.
So can't do anything. You have to find. I have to find my way.
So
I'll go to McDonald's, right?
Which is also very good.
Yeah, it was good.
Tex-Mex is good.
Yeah, it is nice.
I'll go to McDonald's, right? So I'll say veggie burger, right? So same $9. They'll remove the chicken, just 2 buns and lettuce and tomato and mayo. I had to pay the $9 for that.
No.
That's what happened. That is why the most favorite thing that I got to eat, like when I was traveling or on the road or something,
Yeah.
7-layer burrito at Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
So they have this,
Can't go wrong.
7-layer burrito. So they put whatever.
That's a whole meal.
Yeah, whole
7 layers. Yeah. That is now it seems like there's a lot more options.
What I have seen is New York City.
Yeah.
I have lived in Dallas. I lived in San Fran, Chicago. Now here. But what I've seen is New York City have abundance of vegetables. Many people eating vegetables
Yes.
compared to any other city, because that's where like so many Asian neighborhoods, Asian cultures, and many cultures they eat vegetables. And I don't have a reason not to find something which I like in any restaurant you go. In Texas, I'll be going to a barbecue restaurant with my friends, right? I'll be getting all the sides. Give me
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, mac and cheese, beans,
Coleslaw.
green beans, coleslaw. Like I'll have like 7 plates.
Yeah.
All the sides I'm eating.
Chicago too is known for like the beef sandwiches and
Yeah.
the fucking the hot dogs, like
Huge hot dogs.
yeah. That's another place.
Yeah, I wonder why they are not making corn dogs many. Like hot dogs are okay. I need a corn dog, They should sell some corn dogs along with the hot dogs.
Yeah.
I wanted to eat a corn dog, but hot dogs stop. The shop doesn't have corn dogs.
Corn dog is nice. Have you tried the Korean corn dogs?
Yeah. The East Village, there is one, I think.
Next to like the Grizzly Pear.
Yeah.
Greenwich Village.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
eaten it there.
So where did you start doing stand-up? Was it in Dallas?
In Dallas.
Wow.
So, funny thing how it started, or people ask me about it. I've been trying to tell it in a way that I can. But the idea was to, I wanted to get rid of the stage frightness. But it was not the first thing that happened with the, like, okay, I wanted to get out of stage frightness, so I will take a class. No. So somehow I was at a block party in Deep Elm,
Okay.
part of Dallas, and then I bumped into this comedy club called Dallas Comedy House, and I was like, yeah, I never saw a stand-up comedy before that. Like the live stand-up. I've seen when I came to the country, I used to watch Seinfeld.
Okay. The
But
show or his
the
stand-up?
show.
The show, okay.
The show, I watched it like for 6 months,
Yeah.
just reading the subtitles.
Yeah, learning.
I've never watched it. I was just reading the subtitles. Like, why they are laughing? What they are talking about,
What's this guy Jerry's problem?
Yeah, right. But I could associate well with George.
With George. Okay.
George. Most of the things with George.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. And then when I bumped into the comedy club, right, I was like, yeah, I want to see some comedy. Then I went in, and they said, well, we don't have any shows. The shows are sold out today. But come on a Tuesday, and you can be on a show or watch a show. I said, okay, all right, I'll do it. Then I went on a Tuesday. Next Tuesday, they had an improv going on. So what they did is like everybody who improv jam. So everybody who was there, they divided into like multiple groups.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or something. And then you are part of a group. And your group will go and perform for 5 minutes as an improv team. You know,
Yeah.
so I was part of a team. I was happy. I was part of
So
a
this
team.
was your first time
Yeah, first time.
doing anything like
Yeah.
this.
So I was part of the team, and my team was called. I was like, okay. Then I went to the stage, but I stood on the side. I could not go to the center because it was so scary.
Sure.
And then I was like, everybody having so much fun. I will just go and ruin everything and get myself killed.
Right. Fuck the whole thing up.
Right. So I could not do anything. I just stood on the side, and it went on for next 3 Tuesdays. I could
Okay.
not do a thing. I'll just go and stood on the side, and I was always like craving like how I can go and do
How
something.
can I get in? Yeah.
Finally, some lady called me saying, "You come here." I was like, "Are you sure?" You were asking me. So I went there, and she was driving a race car, and I sat the chair next to her, and I drove the race car, like improvising race car. And then the lights were off. Like that's it. That was the scene. That was my first thing at the.
So
on
you
the
were both driving?
What?
You were both driving?
Yeah. So
Were you racing
that's
against
funny.
her?
That's funny. But yeah, somehow
Two drivers in this improv?
that's what happened, I guess. Yeah, I could remember. Maybe, yeah, something like that.
So that was your first scene.
First
time
scene,
on
first
stage. Or well, first time doing something on stage.
Something on stage.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I need to do something with it. So I was hanging around. And, I was hanging around. I see other comics. Antonio Barboza, that reminds me of Ralph Barboza.
Yeah.
And he was at the same time at the same Dallas Comedy House, Comedy Club, doing the
Really?
open mics.
Wow.
And I was talking to him, just in general conversation.
Yeah.
And he's like, Shubh, we should do something. You should take a class. I've been seeing you for last couple of weeks. You should take a class here. I was like, okay. So that's when I decided to join a improv class in Dallas Comedy House.
Wow.
So many things happened.
Wow.
And then improv, I joined for one class. I made good friends. I did improv for a whole year. So
And how'd you like that?
It's good. I made some very good friends.
Yeah.
I have friends who are. I have a good friend, Chris Beasley from the improv team. He is doing great in San Francisco. He is a big producer and in many comedy festivals so far.
Nice.
And then I have another friend, Emery, who is in Alabama. He's doing improv there, and many friends I made. And during that 1 year, I was like, well, I'm good with, I'm not killed yet doing improv. And every 2 months we had a show that
Okay.
we had to perform in front of the people
Nice.
while class is going on. So that I did. And then I asked my friends, Emery and Chris, to let's take a stand-up class. Like I don't want to do it by myself, but I want to do it.
Sure.
Can you guys join? So they both joined, and we took a stand-up class, and we shared ideas. After the class, we'll be talking to each other, giving each other ideas, writing group and class and everything. And we did a show there at the end of the class, and I liked it. I did some mics there. And right before the pandemic, I came to New York City, visited, and I liked it. Then I wanted to move to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
I wrapped up everything, saying I'm moving to New York City. I'll do comedy there. But pandemic happened. Everything ruined.
Sure.
And then I
A lot
was
of shit
like,
was ruined.
Yeah, to say the least.
then I was like, well, there was something going on in my life where now I don't want to stop it. What can I do?
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, I was in India for like, I got stuck there. I was traveling and I got locked in there. I could not come back.
Right.
Then I don't wanted to come to New York City because at home they don't wanted me to come to New York City, at least, because New York City was not doing good.
Yeah.
You know,
So most
I was
people-
talking about May, June, July of 2020.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was
right in the
not
middle.
a good time.
Yeah.
So I decided to come to Chicago. You know, so I was like,
Another
okay.
great American city.
Yeah, I mean, like, at least there is something for the comedy. If I can't go to New York City, maybe I'll go to Chicago. I'm not going back to Dallas.
Right.
So that's when I came to Chicago. I did, once the things are opened up, I did some mics. I made some friends there. And then in 2022, mid of 2022, I moved to New York City.
Nice.
It was a long journey. Sorry, I was...
No, I want to hear it. So you did improv because you wanted to get over stage fright. Where were you getting stage fright before? Was it work, like presenting in front of people?
Everything, everywhere. Like,
Really?
yeah, like going to the stage itself. You know, like...
So you're just anxious.
Yeah, never been on stage. Think about like not able to speak proper English while people are so fluent and
Of course.
articulate and everything.
Yeah.
Even now also I'm stuttering many a times, like I was saying things. But yeah, just to go there, what I'm gonna talk. Do I have something to talk about? You know, so that
Yeah.
is the other thing.
Yeah, improv is something I haven't done, but I want to because I feel like it would help stand up. I feel like there's something, because there is a part of stand up that is improv.
That is
when
true.
You're fucking around or
That is true.
something happens in the audience, you want to play with the audience, and especially now everybody wants clips, so everybody's looking to play with the audience, which kind of, is here or there. Whatever you think about that is.
Yeah, sometimes I think about like doing crowd work, like,
Yeah.
okay, I know improv, I can do it, but
Yeah.
no,
It's a
not
different
good-
thing. It
This
is
is a different thing. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, because if people come to an improv show, they know
Yeah,
like they're gonna make this right now.
right.
Which is cool to me. It's like I like going to jazz shows because when you see jazz music, the way that it's structured usually is there's like a melody and then there's a solo from each part of the band. And the solo is different every night, which to me is interesting, which is how improv can be. And it's how stand-up can be sometimes. You go up there with material, stuff that
Yeah.
you've rehearsed, but sometimes you say, fuck that shit, and you just do something else. And yeah. I love the idea of people making something right there when it's happening. Did you find that improv, once you started doing stand-up strictly, did you find that there was some stuff that you could take from doing improv for a year?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. Just improv got me into how to be there on the stage.
Right.
Even if now also, even if I'm doing shows and mics, people like, okay, where is next? For me, it's like I'm able to improving my English and I'm able to talk on stage.
Yeah.
That's the thing I have achieved, or that's what I want to get better at it. I don't know what will happen. Sometimes your joke works, doesn't work. That's a different thing. But from improv, I wanted to get like, okay, this is what is improving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all.
Well, that's a big jump to come from another place, completely other place, different culture. Did you speak English when you moved here already, or
No,
not at all?
not at all. So
Already that's a big jump, and then now you're like, well, let me speak English in a funny way.
right, that is where like improv was the first thing. Like, okay, even if the two things I was good at it at the end of the 1 year improv is I can make some coffee for you. Like pour some coffee. Here is some coffee for you.
Yeah.
Or I'll make a sandwich for you. That's all I could do it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of words. Not a lot of dialogue. It was just doing stuff.
Yeah, it's like sometimes they tell you to do some act out,
Yeah.
right? Like, so that's where a little bit,
Yeah.
when you go to a scene in improv, somebody have to initiate. If you're not initiating, do some crowd work,
Yeah.
You play with the basketball or make a coffee or make some tea or something like that.
Did you see what happened recently? It was here. I don't know what theater, but Michael Imperioli. Do you know Michael Imperioli? Did you ever watch The Sopranos?
I have not.
But do you know what The Sopranos is?
It was shot in New Jersey
Yeah, it's like a mafia.
and mafia thing.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I'm planning to watch it soon.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's like maybe one
I've
of the
never
best.
seen it either. If it makes you feel any better.
Yeah. Every
Is
time
it?
I bring
I've
it
never
up,
seen it.
I thought you were missing, like,
No,
everybody
I
have
really
seen
never-
it
I
here.
really never have.
anytime I bring it up, I'm like, God damn it. There's more people than I think that haven't seen it. I hadn't watched the whole thing until like last year, so but it's worth it anyway. To your point about improvising and being on stage and being a character, Michael Imperioli, who was in the show The Sopranos, he was producing a play somewhere in Manhattan, some theater, and I forget the name of the play, but some protester came in the middle of the show, and he's like, fuck you and the climate. He had something to say about the climate.
Okay.
And Michael Imperioli stayed in his character.
Is there a video?
There's
wow.
a video. Let's see if we can find it. He stayed in his character to address this guy. And he even mentioned it after the show that he himself agreed with what that person was saying and protesting, but his character didn't agree with it. So he had to stay in character, and he was a mayor or something in his thing. And he's like, yeah, Mayor Watson doesn't agree with this guy. And he stayed in character, which is crazy. And he actually pushes the guy. He goes off the stage and he gets to get out of here, and he had to do the whole thing. Some people are committed.
That reminded me of a one-time incident. I was performing to stay in the character.
Yeah.
While I was doing stand-up. I was at New York Comedy Club.
Okay.
I was doing the comedy mob, and I was doing a bit, and somebody shouted from the audience, like the front row. There was a lady sitting there, and she shouted like "Slumdog Millionaire."
Yeah.
People started laughing, but I could not respond to her. Like, no, I got this few minutes with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to get
just
carried
gotta-
away with that.
Yeah.
I just stuck to like what I'm here to do it and just
You
power
plow
through
right
that.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I understand what you are saying, because he might have done improv for such a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is my character is, and I'm gonna stay here. Like,
Yeah.
how you can be supportive to your scene partner.
Sure. Did you find it? This is it. Let's see. Is this the same thing with the this is the same site as the elephant, I think. The Independent.
Silencing of scientists. I am very, very sorry to interrupt your night and this amazing performance. I am a theater artist. I work in this theater professionally. And
I'm sorry, you need to leave.
You're throwing my career under the bus.
Go, now
Get him out.
and you're not
Our
recognized.
water
Let's
is
go.
poison.
We got somebody?
Where's the house monitor?
They do not have the floor.
The oceans
We do
are
not
acidifying.
recognize
The
this.
oceans are rising.
not allowed
It will
to
swallow
leave,
this city and this entire theater whole. I am putting my career on the line because we are not doing anything about this crisis. The water is coming for us. Broadway will not survive on a dead planet. There is no Broadway on a dead planet.
Yeah.
There is no-
Yeah, he's he stuck to it. Even on Instagram afterwards, he was like, "Yeah, I agree with that guy." But my
He's fucking up my show.
Yeah, he's fucking exactly. What a bold move to go in there and start screaming like that too. Talking about the climate and at a play, like
Where he can get hurt. Have you seen people getting into soccer fields, like a soccer match?
with protests.
Yeah, protesters or people with banners or naked people just getting into the
Oh yeah,
soccer
Streakers.
fields.
There's always a streaker.
Yeah, streaker.
Streakers.
Streaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to get viral, maybe.
Cause a ruckus. I know. Yeah, there was the one. Did you watch the Oscars? I didn't watch the Oscars.
I did not.
I didn't watch it either. But they did like a prank, not a prank, but they did like a callback because one year, I forgot what year it was, like 90 something. A streaker came on the Oscars. Like someone from the audience ran out naked across the stage.
Oh, that's what happened this time. Okay.
Well, this time, John Cena came
John Cena,
out.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so you saw the John
I
Cena
saw that
video.
clip, yeah, but I was not aware of the past.
Yeah. There was a naked person. That's crazy to do at the Oscars because usually it's a sports game. Somebody's drunk.
Speaking of Cena, did you guys watch Ricky Stenicki?
What's it called?
Ricky Stenicki.
Ricky Stenicki. What is that?
It's on Amazon Prime. It's like one of the best comedies I've seen come out in the last probably 5 years.
Really?
It was really funny.
Ricky? He's the main character?
He's one of, yeah. It's him and Andrew Santino, Zac Efron.
Okay.
I'll watch it.
It was good. It was really funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. Can we find a synopsis on it? What's it called?
I
more
can give you a synopsis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tell
It's so they're a group of friends. It's Andrew Santino, Zac Efron, and this other kid. And when they're younger, they were getting into trouble, and so they used this fake alias name Ricky Stenicki as their scapegoat.
Okay.
So that would be like who they blamed things on. And then they continued using that scapegoat until like way into their 30s. And now like it comes time like for like a wedding, say, and they need to hire an actor to play a real Ricky Stenicki. And that's John Cena. And he plays like this absolute lunatic
That is
who
cool.
has to like come true of all the stories they've been telling about this Ricky Stenicki.
That's funny.
That's a funny concept.
I like
it's
that.
fucking really funny.
That is good. Yeah. Comedy movies are tough to make now
Yeah.
because
And-
everybody's so worried.
Yeah, they're always like so like politically correct, but
Yeah. Is this one like
yeah,
they go for it a little bit?
They pushed boundaries. It was fun. It was fun.
And even if you do a comedy movie, right, it takes like what, maybe a year and 2 or 3 years from start to finish.
Yeah. A lot of those
And
movies.
jokes are getting outdated.
Faster than ever.
Yeah, by the time like stand-up comedian, they're like, okay, you get jokes rolling.
Yeah.
So if the movie is coming in 3 years, they've written it like 3 years back. Those references and jokes sometimes they don't work anymore.
Yeah, especially there was just a big strike too that pushed things back even further.
right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everybody's, especially in stand-up, because a lot of our material comes from cultural stuff in the news, cultural stuff, which is why sometimes we lean on our past experiences because those are ingrained forever. We don't have to worry about the funny story that happened to us when we were 19. That's always going to be funny. Like, I can always tell that versus a Trump joke, which hopefully we're still doing this in 10 years. Nobody's going to want to hear about Trump jokes, like, yeah. So coming to New York, what was, I think I know the answer because it's the same answer everyone gives. Coming to New York and doing stand-up, what was the biggest advantage, you think?
To a bigger stage,
Yeah.
a bigger challenge.
Yeah.
I don't know, somehow I end up taking difficult tasks.
Yes.
It just happened. And while I was like, if I can do it in Dallas or in Chicago, why not in New York City? This is the best place, even if I'm telling it to a smaller audience or maybe a bigger club. So this will be the place. I will try to do it here.
Yeah.
Even if the mics itself, you get to able to perform at so many places.
That's
It's-
the big one.
It's not the same in any other city.
That's right.
Even if you are not on a show, still you can go out and do a mic, and
Get reps.
every time of the day and every day there is something going on.
That's right.
That's the advantage.
That's what. If you come to New York, you have no excuse, regardless of what you're coming for.
Right.
If you're going to be a comedian, if you're going to be on Wall Street, if you're going to be a nurse, whatever, there's every day there's an opportunity to go and do whatever that thing is, you know?
Right.
There's so much moving all the time.
Mm.
Where if you're not out doing a mic, or you're like, I'm being a lazy bastard. Like I should be out doing something, you know?
No, sometimes like I visited New York City before I was a comedian.
Yeah.
My things would be like top 10 rooftop bars in New York City.
And then you see the bill at those rooftop bars, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or maybe top 10 Chinese restaurants
Yeah,
in New York City.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do. Now I don't know where are those places. I go from one place, one club to another, or one place to another on the way I see something.
Yes.
And that's how I get used to the different places.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're walking around. This happened to me just today. I was walking around somewhere because I had to go pick up. I had an appointment to go pick up my pants at a tailor, and I was there. I was in the area super early, and I was like, "Oh, I'll get something to eat." And then I went to pull out my phone to find something, and I'm like, "I can just walk around.
Yeah.
There's a million places everywhere."
Right.
And now this time it didn't work. This place sucked. The place I ate at was pretty shitty.
Okay, all
I was
right.
upset. It was Mexican food, but that's all right. I don't even remember the names, so I couldn't even shit on them like that if I wanted to.
Yeah. They say if you eat at one place in New York City every day, it will take you 25 years or something to eat.
Oh yeah.
At places. Yeah.
I met this girl that does she used to do a series where she would go to all the areas of Manhattan, neighborhoods, I should say, neighborhoods of Manhattan, and do like a review of that area throughout the day, stuff you can do, places you can go, and I forgot how many she did, but she told me how many neighborhoods there were in Manhattan, and it's fucking so many, and that's just Manhattan.
Yeah.
You go to each borough, it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Now, being in India, they have way more fucking people. I mean, India has, what, the second most people in the world? To China, right?
Yes.
What is it, like 14% of the world lives in India or something?
1.5 billion people.
Holy fuck.
Yes.
That's what?
5 times America, right?
Yeah, America's like, what, 300?
300 million?
Yeah, 300 million.
My city where I come from, it's the size of the city is half of Brooklyn.
Okay.
And population is twice Brooklyn.
Dense.
So,
Yeah.
like, in
Brooklyn's
Brooklyn,
the biggest borough too,
yes.
Yeah.
size-wise.
I think Brooklyn's population is what, 1.7 or 3.5? One among them, 3.5 million, I guess.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge. And there's so many different places. It's, being from Rhode Island, Rhode Island's one of the most densely populated states.
2.6 million.
In
2.6, yeah.
Brooklyn. Yeah. That's so how many did you say live in the town you were mentioning?
5 million.
God
So
damn.
exactly double.
But
And
half the
Brooklyn's,
size.
Brooklyn's size, I think, 35 square miles.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it
35,
says
right?
Brooklyn's 36,000 per square mile, or
Okay.
14,000 per kilometer,
Gotcha.
square kilometer.
Damn.
So half the size and twice the population. Yes.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Why is that? You guys fuck a lot.
Well, the thing is, like, we know what the best use of
Yeah. Of course. You
Fertile.
guys wrote the book.
what is
literally.
the
Very
outcome?
fertile.
What is the outcome?
Yeah. Well, you wrote the book, of course.
Yes.
Kama
The-
Sutras.
Some of
see,
those
people-
positions don't result in.
Yeah.
No, people
Some of them are
think
crazy.
people think about India being a not so open. How open it could be, the culture which gave Kama Sutra to the world.
Of course.
Yeah.
People
People talk about, you guys wear burqa. Like, no. Have you seen where Kama Sutra came from?
Yeah.
There could be burqa. No, burqa is bought by the invaders to India. It's not part of the culture.
Right.
Part of the culture is very open.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
It does seem that way. And it seems like Indian or the Indian culture, at least Indian Americans, they have like a niche in comedy. There's a
They do.
lot of
They do.
Indian American comedians that are very. I mean, you could go down the line, right? Asam
Right.
Minaj and Russell Peters. Well, he's Canadian, but Indian still. Russell Peters and Aziz Ansari, Akash, all these guys.
Yes.
It's and then even at our level, there's a ton of Indian
Yes.
comedians. Yeah. Is it? You said you'd never watched stand up until you came here. Is it popular there, or is it just something?
Now it is getting more popular.
Now it is.
Yeah, now the stand up. I never noticed stand up in India. I haven't watched stand up in India.
Yeah.
But now in last 4 or 5 years, it's getting more and more. Like think about stand up is happening. Here you see happening in one language, English. In India, stand up is happening in multiple languages.
Yeah.
So many comedians.
Right.
So it's getting bigger, and even the movies what we used to watch, there was no music album. There's very less music album, very less comedy before. I'm talking about like 5-10 years before. Now stand-up comedy took over, and movies are out of comedy. The same thing, like stand-up comedians are already telling the comedy, and the movie will come in 3 years.
Okay. So they
Same-
get in deals.
Yeah.
Comedians are now bringing the movies out.
Right. So
Yeah.
movies used to bring two things: comedy and music album, like songs and dance,
Yeah.
and the other plot.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're out of comedy.
Interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, it's happening big time in India also.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Well, it's always interesting when you hear of another place
Yeah.
where they do stand up that isn't necessarily English speaking.
Yes, I was asked by like if I can do something in my language, but
Yeah.
it will be, I haven't worked on it. I never performed in India, but I was thinking if I could turn the same set that I have to my language, but I haven't worked on it. It's difficult, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, stand up is definitely an American thing because we can say just about anything now, at least. I'm sure India isn't super restrictive, but in terms of across the world, America, you can say whatever the fuck you want. You can shit on the president. You can shit on other presidents. You can shit whatever you want. You can commentate on what the government does and all this shit. That's unheard of in other places.
Right.
Is there stand-up comedy in Russia? Are people making fun of Putin? I don't think so. That's fucking, we're very fortunate here that we have that right or that law or whatever, Yeah.
Same with India too.
You
Russia
can
is
talk
a
about most stuff over there.
yeah, everything that you can talk.
Yeah.
And the comedy too.
Yeah.
Everything about anybody. You can mock the prime minister, you can tell shit or this and that and everything.
Yeah.
Russia is communist, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So we are
It's
a
different.
democracy. So
Sure.
it's all allowed and
It's all
all
good.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Over there in China too. I can't imagine there's any stand-up comedians in China. They they can't say much over there.
Yeah, they took away the Alibaba guy, right? He's
Oh,
vanished.
Jack Ma.
somewhere. Yeah,
Jack Ma,
where is he?
yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
That's crazy, isn't it?
Like gone.
Holy shit. That's like the Boeing thing. Did you hear about the
Yeah.
Boeing? Where they killed the guy that was the whistleblower? They found him dead. Who killed them? Who do you think? Of course it was Boeing. Like it's so crazy because they're just a company. A government, okay. You kind of understand a government can kill people. They shouldn't, but you expect it.
So what is the Boeing incident?
So, what's his name? I think his name's John Barnett. Was an employee for Boeing.
Okay.
And he took videos and he talked about how Boeing is, some of their manufacturing practices are unethical. And it explains some of the planes going down and them having malfunctions. Boeing's been having problems with their planes. And this guy put it all out and now he's dead.
I think he knew about the Malaysian 370.
He might have. Did you find?
I'm just reading the summary on Google, but it was on the exact day he was due to testify in a civil case against Boeing that he was found dead in his truck with a gunshot wound.
This is not good. See, that can happen in America.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
America,
it can.
we have the freedom to talk free, but when you're about to talk, you might get shot with a gunshot.
Oh, wow! Isn't that crazy?
So
Dead men tell no tales, Shubh. That's like Epstein. The same thing. Jeffrey Epstein. That guy didn't fucking. They obviously killed him because he got too much information. But what's so crazy is that this guy was just an employee who was like, some of this stuff is bad. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this. And they're like,
with Epstein though, like
We're gonna
even
get
if you're in prison and there's like a thought that you could have done anything to underage kids or anything like that, like Epstein possibly did, the prisoners themselves could have just fucking killed him.
yeah, totally. But he was so high profile that they had him protected in jail. Like there's some guys that they put him in jail, they protect him.
Yeah.
And they also, those guys, they watched him for suicide. So he was under surveillance a lot. The likelihood of him killing himself is pretty fucking low.
they just wanted him, like, the natural causes, he'll get killed.
Yeah.
They don't have to do
They
anything.
just let the dogs out on him.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It is crazy. But that's a good point that you said. You know, you can say anything sometimes, you know. But that's the story of stand-up comedy. Like Lenny, do you ever hear of Lenny Bruce?
Yeah, I saw the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes.
From that only I get to know about Lenny Bruce a little bit, yeah.
So he was like the first guy to start talking about politics and the government and sex in America when it was a very pure time. It was like 1950, late 50s, early 60s. And this was when they had laws against that. It was profanity laws or something. I forget the word. And, obscenity. That's what it is, obscenity laws. And he would go on stage here in New York. He would go on stage, which is supposed to be a liberal place throughout history, New York. And the police would already be there. And he would do his set. And as soon as he got off stage, they'd snatch him up and lock him up. And that was the end of his life, was all that. It was just him getting arrested constantly and then him being in court constantly, just for words. And we take it for granted now. We can say almost anything, and that motherfucker was going to jail for it.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story.
Boeing guys should have done a bringer show and recorded his statement, what he wanted to say.
If he just did an open mic and talked about it,
Yeah.
he'd be alive. His mistake was going on
Yeah.
YouTube or whatever. Yeah, it's so crazy. So what I always hear about when people move here from another country
Yeah.
is to get used to America is to watch stuff that's made. You said Seinfeld. To watch TV shows, and it helps you learn the culture, helps you learn the language too, of course. What else did you watch? Was there anything else that you were really into?
Yeah, I like Family Guy.
Family Guy. That's from where I'm from.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Rhode Island. Quahog. You are from Quahog.
So it's funny, Quahog doesn't exist.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Family Guy. It told me like many of the things, like, you know, like metaphors or the
Yeah.
things about America.
Yeah. A lot of
And then,
cultural stuff.
Yeah. South Park,
Of course.
Simpsons,
Yeah.
and then King of the Queens,
King of Queens. Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin James.
Kevin James.
Yeah.
And then Everybody Loves Raymond.
Sure.
Loves Raymond. So these are the shows that I watched like Friends few, but not a big time on
Friends
Friends.
sucks.
Yeah.
Friends sucks. Friends is
Okay,
the worst.
we are here Seinfeld team.
Yeah, well, but at least me, I'm a big. We both agree that Friends sucks.
Yeah, Friends is stupid.
Yeah, Friends.
It's not
Okay,
fun.
all right. We are in the same team.
You're in good company. Don't worry about it if you didn't like Friends.
No, even now people ask me like, who do you watch? Like, we watch so much with like shows and the mics and
Yeah.
exhausted after the day to watch another show on TV for hour long.
Yeah.
But I always say like Larry David, you know, like George, the character from Seinfeld, or Larry David, the Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes.
Silly things that sometimes I'm not able to talk the silly things, like from coming from a different country, right?
Right.
Those are the things I could associate. What Larry could talk, wish I could talk all of them one day. So we'll see. That is the.
Did you know Curbed? There's no script.
They do improv, and
It's
then
improv.
they have a few things that this is what they will be. The set was about.
What the scene is.
Yeah, what the scene, like we are working towards the color, or people wearing glasses, or something.
Yeah.
And then they will work towards that, and then whatever comes from improv, they put it together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny way to do a show. You got to be really confident in whoever you're working with. That's
That
why
i-
he had Richard Lewis with him.
Yeah.
They were best buddies.
Yes.
So they knew how to play off each other.
Yeah, it's too sad that Richard Lewis is gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was so good in that show.
I liked his character all the time.
Yeah, and his stand-up is really good too. I don't know if you've watched his
Yes,
stand-up.
yes, I watched his stand-up.
Yeah,
He's
he's
good.
always like worried about things and distressed. Yeah, that's Curbed is hilarious. I think I like it a little more than Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
yeah. What's the last season now, right?
I think 10 or 11 or something.
Well, I think the one now is the last one.
Is he gonna stop?
I think it's over.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah. But that was one of the shows that start when you watch the first couple seasons, you're like, this is a very low budget, you can tell. And then it gets like huge. It's like Trailer Park Boys, which I wasn't a big fan of. But if you watch the beginning of Trailer Park Boys, it was on YouTube. The first season or something was on YouTube. And then it got bigger. And what was it, on HBO or so? I don't remember what it was on. But yeah, it's cool as shit. You can just make stuff. You know, that's what's the funnest part about doing stand-up, I think.
I think some of the shows that I watched at some improv shows, they do the rehearsal again and again and again, and they pick the best parts and make a script. And then they perform it as a show.
Yeah.
And they always, like a stand-up, always, doing the punchlines. So once they rehearse, once they put a set together, then they take it from that place to do it again and again and again.
It's like they reverse engineer it.
Yes.
Yeah. They start with the idea and then the dialogue comes.
Yes.
And
And they keep the
authenticity.
best parts.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna talk this again and again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fucking fantastic. Well, hey, Shubh, I think we could wrap this motherfucker up. This was a lot of fun.
Okay. No, this was fun.
Yeah. Where can people find you? What's your social media? Instagram?
Instagram,
Yeah.
Shubh Panda,
Nice.
or SPAANDAA. That's my Instagram.
That's right.
I'm trying to get better at TikTok.
We're
But
going to
I'll
lose
be,
that anyway soon, right?
yeah, I'll be
TikTok.
very happy if they
If they
ban
got rid of it,
TikTok.
right?
Yeah, so,
That would be nice. 'cause
Yeah, that would be nice.
I missed the train on TikTok,
yeah,
too.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the one, and then I have on Instagram, I have linked to my link tree.
Okay.
There I have post some of my videos and clips and sets. So yeah.
Nice. And is there anything you want to promote coming up? Shows or anything that you're going to be on?
I am doing like few shows in March.
Yeah.
On 21st in Astoria.
Okay.
There is one on 26th on Scarsdale. And there is one on 24th in Manhattan.
Nice.
Yeah, so...
Follow him on his socials and you'll see.
Yes.
All right, Shubh. Thank you so much. Let's wrap this motherfucker up. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.
Thank you very much, Antonio and Bill,
Hey, you got it.
for having me, and it was fun talking.
Absolutely. All right, guys.